and welcome to the wild. Hope everybody's doing well. I am fixing to tinker a little bit, and I thought I would bring you along and show you guys around while I tinker a little bit. First, let me say that this world is very unique for me. I tend to play in worlds for a very long period of time. My previous world, I was in for over 10 years. And recently I decided that I wanted to start fresh and sort of think about that process again, about what it's like to build 10 years later, being a more mature player, understanding the game a lot better, and being able to express some of the ideas that felt relatively hindered by my previous world. So this area is where I spawned in. This is world spawn, as you can see. Oh, I don't have a compass on me. This is approximately 0, 0 is a little bit right about there, somewhere right in that space. And I spawned on this hill, and as I was creating worlds and checking seeds out, this one was unique to me. I had never really spawned in a Badlands biome before, and I thought, you know what, why not? And I also thought it was kind of special spawning on just this little hill as well. So this place has a lot of special meaning, especially if I intend for it to be a forever world. In 5-10 years from now, when I have all kinds of other places to be and all kinds of other adventures to have, I'll be able to come back here and say, this is where everything started. So one of the first things that I plan to do, and this is demonstrated in the very first video, is the first tree that I took down. I have recorded all of the first blocks of the first things, if you will, in this world. The first things that I acquired or crafted, and this is my first set of iron armor. I think everyone knows the headache of trying to search for iron that first little while. Sometimes it's easier than others depending on the world, but it was unique getting iron. It was interesting to get there, and I thought I would record that by putting my iron armor, the first set, behind glass. So this place has a very special part of this world of the wild. This is the first furnace, the first crafting table. This is one of the first beds that I made, the first boat that I crafted. All of this is special and unique. And from there, one of the things that I wanted to explore is the idea of a forever world being something where you can do anything you want in a forever world. Minecraft worlds are so vast and so massive that you don't have to work very hard to start over. In fact, you can take a couple pieces of obsidian in through the nether, run 100 blocks, prop up another portal, and you can start an entirely new game. You can leave all of your equipment in a chest, you can leave it all in another place, and start completely fresh. And I think that's what's really beautiful about Minecraft, is I don't have to give up on one world. I can use it forever. So the biggest part of the place of first things is being able to come back here later and recall all of the adventures and the time it took to get to this spot where I could begin an adventure elsewhere in this map. So I decided that for this world, one of the unique things I would do is create some sort of a lore behind the nether portals. And the first effort there was this idea of the terracotta infused flyer. And when I did that, I thought it might be interesting to be able to use this ship as a way of connecting my various settlements in the major locations throughout the map. And so this ship will play a recurring theme. But I will say that I do have other ideas for terracotta infused machines down the road. I have since done some work to elevate the nether portals just a little bit to keep them from being dangerous all the time and me having to run around all the way to this second portal down below. So I've moved everything up a little bit off the ground. It helps out a whole lot. I do have a plan. I have done some experimenting in a creative version of the world. This portal can be placed right in front of me, And if I go out wide enough in my frame size, I can just connect to Copperdawn from the edge of the portal. So I plan on doing that in the future and having everything better aligned. When I first spawned here, I was amazed because I had never spawned with a nether fortress and a bastion so close together. That was awesome. Since then, I have found that there is another bastion and another nether fortress off in that direction. The very first place I decided to settle came to me after I was doing a little bit of running around in the creative version of the map, but also using chunk base to kind of do some exploring on places to go. And I realized that I've settled in a desert before, but being so close to a Badlands biome is something that I haven't really done a whole lot of. So I felt that this would be an appropriate place to set up my first settlement in this forever world. This place I've called Copperdawn. A couple of reasons for that. First, in this cave down on the side, there is a massive copper seam, which I like. Yes, that's important. One of the things that I find myself doing a lot is trying to tinker around with small machines and little ways of doing little simple semi-automatic things from time to time. And so copper has become a critical component to the way that I feel about building those little machines. And so I decided to settle here because of the copper seam. And the first order of business, once the TIF was there, was to actually build this dock space. Now, I've since turned this into storage, but initially it held more of a home vibe to it. I used it as my base of operations for quite a bit until I was able to build an actual house. Outside, I had a small lava fuel source and a very simple setup, but I wanted this to feel and look like a docking area for the ship. And then down below would be where I would build the settlement of Copperdawn. The first task was to set up the estate, which is the first building that I built. That was to have basically a very settled home, a place that I could actually settle in and call my own, and I wouldn't have to worry about the wayrest situation at the place of first things, and I could get out of the cramped space of the dock. Recently, I decided to explore an idea that I've noted recently in BOO's videos. This is a small cactus farm. It's very, very simple. It doesn't do anything major. It's extremely slow, but it does produce green dye. However, I do have it fueling itself with the bamboo here. After a while, it will fuel itself. In fact, I believe that there is quite a bit of bamboo in the system already. And I can do this from time to time. I can lock the furnace. I think I have a little bit here. I can lock the furnace. I can create or craft an item, and then from there I can grab the experience points, and it's usually not much, but sometimes it can get me over a hurdle if I need to. So let's see, I'm at 14 right now. Yeah, it barely moved, but it gave me just a little bit of XP, and then it's just simply turning it back off. I do like these a lot, these ideas, because they keep everything open and accessible. All of the magic there of the machine is present and easy for you to see, and you get to tinker with it and touch it and experience it and look in the items. And I haven't tried to hide any of the mechanics of these machines. I really like that. So, making our way to the estate, we'll head to the estate first. I'll take you on a tour of where we are so far. And I keep running with these bottles, and I forget to take them. And we get a little bit of speed. In the estate, I wanted to have my interpretation, I guess, of a computer system for the world. And I'm going to use this in the lore for various ways of communication. But right now it's actually looking for potential settlement areas. And it has concluded that there are 7 potential spots for me to look. So a little bit of an Easter egg. You can see some of the other settlement names that I have planned. It's a very basic survival house. You'll find that it is devoid of chairs and tripwire hook sinks and staircase seats and pressure plate tables. Everything is very survival oriented. In this corner, for instance, I have a water source for using in glass bottles for brewing. and also for buckets from time to time. This is a semi-automated brewing stand. Put my bottles in. I can drop all the items necessary for this particular potion, and then it will grow on its own. This is a oh, hey, I've gotten so accustomed to this is the first time I've ever streamed before, so after all this time of wanting to, this is my first experience with it, so I'm not even mindful of chat, so please forgive me, the Albie AM. I really appreciate that. I enjoy doing this. I don't know if it's really good or not, but I do really enjoy doing this, and I really appreciate the vote of confidence. It makes me feel really good. Basically, a small little living space. I really like the space itself. I also intend to write a lot of the books and custom lore in the world, so that when it's time for a world download, all of you will be able to enjoy the world and be able to understand a little bit more about the way that I've built and the things that I've wanted to do inside the world. Obviously, a small bed spot, and we'll do that right now, so I can avoid any bad guys. Not really interested in dealing with the bad guys right now. Oh, and obviously the crew. There is a video. I do have almost 8 episodes recorded for the no commentary videos, and I did capture a couple of dogs. I really wanted the black dogs, so I wound up with 4. Right now I only got 3 name tags. Thanks, John, but because I know you, you're biased. I appreciate the vote of confidence. So the estate, one of the biggest things I think you'll see with the estate is that it is mildly reminiscent. The idea came from my adoration for the very first original Star Wars film. When Luke Skywalker is found on Tatooine, he is living on a moisture farm with his aunt and uncle. This is my interpretation of that design, and I decided since I was building in a desert that I would go with the sandstone look. So, also taking in the idea of me being a tinker, wanting to play a lot with copper machines, I also thought a lot about how I could take those copper machine ideas and translate them into the moisture machines from Tatooine. And you can see there's a lot of that mechanism, machine type stuff happening here. But also, the infinite water source inside, I also tried to build a little bit of a machine here as a way to sort of connect that real world survival element to this machine idea, this aesthetic vibe, if you will. So you'll see a lot of that around as we sort of look around at things. There's a lot of it in the area where I've done things like this. All of the trees, since we are dealing with in a treeless biome in Minecraft, I wanted to try and make it make sense for me planting trees outside of my tree farm. Don't look at that. That's just, I don't know what that is, to be honest. I think I just use that for wood. But every tree that I have tried to use as decoration, I have added in a sort of a water irrigation system for each one of them to kind of ground it into the lore. The very first task, and the one that I am working on the video now for, is the ironworks. So once I created the estate, I immediately wanted to resume a better way of iron production rather than having to require mining. And so what I did was I decided to work on the ironworks. You can see right now we've actually got one. And when it passes away, the hoppies and iron ingots will fall down into the water channel. They will go into the dropper system. It is a filter, so the poppies are not filtered, and they just will despawn over time. And then from there, the ingots will travel up the system. In fact, we'll just do this. I'll just demonstrate this. I lost my cue there. So we'll take a couple here, and I'll just drop them down in there. You can see the filter picks them up. They're pushed up into the hopper. There you go. The auto crafter, which just came out in the latest update, it will send the blocks of iron around, and then the blocks of iron will go into the system. Right now I have been playing quite a bit. I'm at 1,500, a little over 1,500 days in the world, and so I've got a lot of iron build up here in Copperdawn. I don't think I'm going to be hurting for iron anytime soon. And you'll see, once again, there go the iron and the poppies. You can see a lot of that ideas around the copper machines. I use the copper grating, which I think is an amazing block. And also, this particular iron farm is inspiration from ENX04. So I highly recommend going and checking out that original build. In fact, in the video description when I release the video, I will have a link to his particular build. There is 3 villagers and a zombie right on the back below, and they are what spawns or triggers the iron golems to spawn within this space. The iron golems are pushed by the water into the lava, and then the rest I've explained. But this is really awesome, and I also this has been a boon for me. It has really helped me out in iron production, and has allowed me to do a lot of the builds that I've been doing so far in Copperdawn without needing to rely on spending a lot of time mining. The other benefit to having this kind of space is that I can also store iron ingots. I can store some of the other elements, so if I'm making lanterns, and then just for gimmick, I can flick the lever and grab what I need. While I'm here, I do need to make a new iron pick. That is something I don't have. I'm going to grab real quick, make an iron pick. There we go. And then, just to save some inventory space, I will put those 6 back in the system. Here comes another one. There we go. And we're not quite here yet. I think we're still in the hopper. Still loading the stacks in the hopper. The other thing too I love about these is that when they are unwaxed, you can go back in and clean them up after a while. I love these lamps a lot. Makes me feel like I'm contributing to my world. I'm a part of my world. Even these out here, I love being able to just come out and feel like I'm contributing to the mechanisms in my world. The drone, this is the Helmic 9000. Thomas, if you're watching, named that one after you. You will see that in the next video. I don't know if the sign is visible from here or not, and I don't have any blocks on me. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Let's see. There we go. The Helmic 9001. A brilliant drone. It is much bigger than its predecessor, which was the Helmic 9000. You can see the Helmic 9000, a little bit smaller. These guys are a little bit bigger. They get a little bit more done. I did build a crane. I've never done that before, and I thought it would be interesting. Hey, LP, thanks. The Iron Farm, interesting. I wanted to try and not just build a big giant redstone machine type thing, and I wanted to kind of have it fit into the look and feel that I was going for in Copperdawn. So I really appreciate that. The crane. I have no idea if this even makes sense or not, but I gave it a shot. And then, of course, I had to go and add several different elements around the iron farm, in particular this venting. Again, playing with the idea of the copper machines, and the zombie and the 3 villagers are down below this spot. And then, of course, created more little aesthetically pleasing heat conductors and things of that sort, little machines. One of the things that I really find interesting about the worlds is, rather than just building a lot of detail into the space, I like a lot of the animated graphics, the particle effects, and also sound. So I want to enhance the world as people move around it. I want them to be able to see moving things and to hear things as well. And so I try and build accordingly. I try to build like that. So that's really a part that made a lot of sense when I was putting together the concept for the ironworks. And of course, I have a water tank up there. Using that grating again was one of the first experiments with the grating. You can also, I've created a ladder on the back side so you can get up on the roof. And then from there, it was time for me to construct a forge. The forge became very important because I needed a way to smelt copper and smelt gold in a larger quantity than what I could produce up at the dock. So you can see from the outside, again, a lot of heat-related machinery. I also wanted to be able to get inside and look at the machines and engage with the mechanics of the machines. So I made it so that I could actually look in the walls and touch some of the walls and some of the machinery and the things that are going on inside. I created a simple lava tank, or the appearance of a lava tank, and to make it look like it was flowing and actually going inside of the system and helping out. And as just an extra little side bit of survival utility, I put a trapdoor here so that I can use this as a trash can. Though, admittedly, I have plenty of trash cans around here. They're called cactus. And on the back side, I did very similar concept of just being able to see the machine and engage with the system itself. And then, of course, another ladder to the top that just gives me a little bit of a bird's eye view. Again, I've tried to put ladders at the top of each one of my houses, the buildings here in Copperdawn, just so it's a quick escape from skeletons and zombies and other things, spiders, namely, creepers. Thought it might help out quite a bit. Warning, very extreme heat inside. Okay, the forge. This is a simple concept, not a lot going on here. These are very simple smelters, smelter arrays. I've got blast furnace on this side. I place items in the minecart chest, turn it on, and then it will move back and forth populating the furnaces until everything is there. And then I can come back at a later time and turn it off. Once everything is smelted, it will just drop down through a series of hoppers into the large chest. Here I have a much larger array of lava producers, a lava farm, and then I just simply grab buckets and get what I need. I have slowed down production of a lot of the items here, so I haven't really had to focus on that, and right now I am well stocked on lava. I have spent more time actually using this side, which is just a standard furnace array, to smelt clay, smooth sandstone, glass, and smooth stone as needed. Some of those items I cannot use the blast furnace for. So the furnace is a pretty simple one. Oh, I better run over here to the handy dandy trusty bed machine, the speeder, if you will. Sleep off this nighttime so we don't wind up with any problems. I don't need any problems here. This was an experiment in seeing if I could add some visual cues to make it look like this was a sort of a hover machine. So I have a campfire down below, and then I just thought I would use the texture from the underside of a sandstone stair, make it look like sort of the hovercraft, the air was being pushed around a little bit and creating dust. I don't know if it works or not, but I kind of like it. It's interesting. So the forge, I do eventually want to build some sort of a railway into the mine system. There's, again, a copper seam in there, so I can spend a lot of time there, though I do now have access to trial chambers, so I don't need to spend so much time collecting raw copper. It still would be nice to have. So after I built the forge, it was then time for me to settle in and focus on food. And the first thing that I chose to do was build a greenhouse. The greenhouse has a number of benefits to the world, and it has saved me a lot from needing to travel back to the place of first things or build farms that I was just going to tear out later. One of the ways that I play, I do not try to produce everything all at once so fast. That leads to burnout and getting bored with the world because you beat the dragon in 4 days flat of playtime. And I didn't really want to experience the game that way. I've never really played Minecraft that way. I take everything slowly. In fact, I believe it was day 800 before I actually became well equipped with iron gear, and that was once I got the farm going, the ironworks going. So I played the game relatively slowly. In the greenhouse, I was running low on food, and so it became necessary to go ahead and build it. On this one side is obviously just a lot of raw crops. I did finally travel when I went to collect the dogs. And I was also hunting for the berry plants as well. And these two plants from the nether, these two vines, I find these invaluable, especially if you have a good selection of bone meal, because these provide basically ladders in both directions. You'll note that I used these to get down from the tiff when I first landed in Copperdawn. So both of these plants are extremely useful, and it makes sense to have just a couple of shears laying around where I can just come in and grab some of these. And all you really need to start the process is one, and give yourself a stack of bone meal, and you can get up or down very easily. And I love that idea, just being able to use the plants. I received my first pitcher plant. I don't know what to do with it yet, so I'm just leaving it here. I'm just looking at it. I think it's really cool looking. And then on the other side, this is where I brought in, again, a little bit of semi-automation. So first, obviously, we have a sugarcane farm. This will help me with sugar production for speed pots, and also it will help me for building paper for books. Initially, the chest to collect the sugarcane was right here in this block, but what I decided to do was have the sugarcane also travel off and help out in my library for book production. So I went ahead and created an array. The spyglass is going to cause a problem getting in this chest. So right now, the sugarcane farm will produce enough to fill up this large double chest. Then it will fill up a series of 3 hoppers. And after that, the rest that is produced will travel outside the greenhouse over to the library. These machines are automated for melon and pumpkin. I have deliberately, purposely, turned off the melon production because I am right now near completely full. I have mine carts, hopper mine carts underneath these dirt blocks, which will make it so that I have a 100% lossless system. So none of the melon gets slung anywhere. The hopper mine carts are very, very quick on grabbing things. So I went ahead and manually turned off this one, and the pumpkin is still in heavy production. So there's a lot here that I can still do. Pumpkin grows slower, so I'm just letting it run. I have bamboo as well, bit of an automated system. It's not filling out as fast, but I did turn it off just to kind of keep it from getting too crazy and out of touch. Obviously, it's a semi-auto compost for bone meal. I do get a lot of surplus of seeds from that side, so it makes it very easy to just drop them in the composter when I'm done collecting. And then a bone meal dispenser so I can place seeds here and I can grab resources relatively quickly, carrots, potatoes, wheat, things of that sort. So again, I wanted to go with an aesthetic of being able to see the machines in action. In fact, if I hit this button, you can see it triggered that one, and the melon slice went down. And so I love being able to have all of these mechanisms that you can just go and look at and touch. And I actually filled these grates with water so that you can see sort of a little bit of motion, a little bit of animation if you look close. And it's dripping water a little bit as well, which gives it this irrigation vibe, which I really thought was interesting. And I did something similar on these sides as well. Since I was over here with the real crops, I brought in some of these grates, and you'll see every now and again they will drip water as well. And it just gives it a little bit of a, hey, I'm in a greenhouse, and you know, this is universal infinite water sources as well. I have 2 on both sides just in case I need buckets for water. Yeah, thanks, Aaron. The greenhouse is very useful at the very least. It keeps me alive. And one of the things that I was looking at when I tell you what, I'll put this on my hotbar. It has a tendency to interact with my clicking elsewhere. One of the things about the greenhouse, when I was done with the greenhouse, I became very distraught by the back side of it being very empty. So I had an idea that I wanted to play with a long time ago about building an aquifer, kind of an overhead aquifer, and just for looks, really. And so I decided that I would experiment with that and bring it to this desert badlands biome, and then put plants out here to make it feel very garden-esque. So the trigger for that was coming up with this idea for a giant water tank. And so this is sort of my interpretation of a tank, I guess. So it is full of water. I've got a water stream in the center, and then the water would basically, in effect, come out of the machine, spill out into the aquifer, and again, you get a lot of the dripping effects because all of this is water. There is actual water running through all of the channels. And another infinite water source here, but also it looks like the aquifer is actually spilling into some sort of underground contraption, or at least that's the idea. So yeah, plenty of plants here. I don't really harvest these per se. Certainly I can if necessary, but it was more or less for looks. Again, the irrigation on the trees where necessary. I also put a couple of benches outside for beds just in case I need a quick bed to sleep off the night. And then rounding out everything, I did put another ladder up top. You can see some of these machines, the water and irrigation machines. I use the grates again so that you can see into the machine, see the redstone firing off and things of that sort. And on this side, this is the bamboo farm, and you can see here the missing redstone, which I have placed there, so when I need to run it again, I can just hop up on the roof, grab the redstone, plop it in front of the observer, and it will run again. Oh, and something else. I mysteriously woke up and came to the greenhouse to find vending machines being thrown up all over Copperdawn. This one is called Excellent Eggs, and it just laid an egg. The only thing I know for certain is that these things are powered by Mojo Co. I have no idea what that's about. I'm sure it's some sort of vending conglomerate that I'll encounter at some point or another. But this vending machine gives me eggs. I don't know what else to say. Though admittedly, Mojo Co. must know what I need, because I have been eating a lot of pumpkin pie, and one of the major ingredients of pumpkin pie is, you guessed it, eggs. So I may be using Excellent Eggs for a very long time. Who knows? So once I was done with the greenhouse, it became time for me to focus on a couple of things. One, I want to spend a lot of time writing lore over time, and I have written some about the world itself, about the various guilds and the people of this world, and using that as a way to tie down all of the various settlements that I want to build around this world. So I needed to worry about book production, but I also needed to worry about enchanting, and it was time to do both. My gear at that point was becoming full iron, but I was still not enchanting anything. And so I was not getting the full benefit of enchanted items. And now you can see I have my Jordache high top blasts on. If you're an old person, you may know, you may remember Jordache. I do. Please don't be mean, because I'm an old person. Mojo Co. brand work pants, the Tinker's wraps, and all these have protection. And I have been slowly working through various bows and things. Oh, looks like we're going to have to go use the library bench to sleep. Fix this drone up real quick. There we go. There we go, back in tip-top shape. Alright. And we'll just sleep this off right outside the library. Hopefully nothing eats us. There we go, look at that. Brilliant. Love it. So the library, a couple of things I wanted to do. One of those was I wanted the idea that it was a cluttered bookstore. That's really what I wanted first. And then the second thing is, you know what, I got to thinking about those fantasy libraries where you imagine the old wizard is sitting in this giant, vast cavern, and it's full of bookshelves and books, and they just go up into the sky and you can't see anything. Well, I wanted to do that. And so this was as close as I got. I don't know if it works or not, but this is going to give me plenty of storage for books, enchanted books, lore books. I've got cartography tables, lecterns for books, crafting tables, and everything I would need. And I have even given myself a way to get up to the top levels. And I can select any book from these tiers. You'll notice I'm short of leather. I'm still working on that. So I've got some work to do to get bookshelves in this backside. But I have been using this space already. You can see this is an Aqua Affinity book. That'll come in handy later. So I can just store any book. Let's see, what is this one? Prot 1. Okay. And once I get to a spot where I'm collecting books that I really want to know where they are, I may drop signs on the sides of some of the shelves and just say, hey, this is what's in this bookshelf. On this side, very important. This is a map of Copperdawn as it stands right now. I need a map here, and it's going to be a 3x3 map that will basically lay out. You can see some of the outlines of future buildings, and they will spread out over. There's a village over here. So this just helps me keep track of everything and just gives me a good feel of what Copperdawn looks like as a whole. there are a lot of areas around here that I have not explored, and we may run off, if there's still time, we may run off over here and check out some of the abandoned mine shafts. There's a couple over here that are interesting to me, and I think there might be some loot there. Here is a project board. Several years ago, I saw Impulse SV do redstone lamps with levers. Now that we have copper bulbs, the idea is that when I have projects, we can place projects on the board. I can then paint them green when I'm ready to start on that project and when I'm working on it, and then when I'm done, I can simply go around the other side and just click the button and the light comes on. And then eventually, once I'm done with those projects, I can clear the board and start over. Very useful, very useful. Then, here we are. This is the important one. This is enchanting. But I've got a little bit of a trick here. A little bit of a trick. This is my first book, The Secret Enchanty, A Guide to Enchanting Volume 1 by Anji of the Scholars. He's a part of the Scholars Guild in the Wayfarers League, which are villagers that I have come to know, come to trust, and they want to hire me for projects in the future, and I will also be hiring them for projects as well. But this book was written by one of the scholars, and there are 15 pages. There are a total of 3 chapters: Origins, Beginnings, and In Practice. This book basically covers the subject of enchanting, but it has a very unique purpose here. So when I place the book on the lectern, you can see the first book shelf drops down into the ground. What this has done, it has lowered the amount of max levels that I can buy or use in the enchanting table. What's great about this is that if I go out several more pages, this will remove or lower the levels that are necessary, and then it will basically let me control the level of enchants that I'm targeting, or the level of enchants that I'm aiming for over time. So I can have all 15 books, or I can have just a few, or I can have none. Really great, useful. And then I just put the book back, and voila, there I have a full enchanting setup ready to go. Zanji, nice to see you. Zanji of the Scholars, I am working on completing his trades, but I will say I think I'm okay with Silk Touch. And I do want to stress this. I got lucky. This was my first attempt at giving him a lectern for his job. This was my first attempt. Very, very lucky for getting 6 emerald, 1 book. This could easily have been 22 emeralds in a book. So, yeah, I think he's in good shape. But Zanji's always there as a scholar, also for the Silk Touch books. And then on this side, we've got Timbin, and Timbin is a cartographer. He is a member of the Wayfarers League, and I was hoping that he would offer new trial chamber maps, but instead he offers Ocean Explorer maps for Ocean Monuments and Woodland Explorer maps. So I will have to find another cartographer with the Wayfarers League down the road and invite them to come and live at Copperdawn. Then we have the C-Series Binder Blast R450. When I click this lever here, use this lever, books will be spit out of this. You can see leather, and then I will have paper. The paper will be made from the sugarcane that comes in. It will come into this crafting machine. The sugarcane will fill out here. The paper will be spit up into these empty slots inside that crafter, and then I'll be able to make books. And the leather, you can see, is fed in from the side, fed up from the roof, and yeah, and then I can control the actual amount of leather coming in or out. So where's the leather coming from? Well, that's another one of these machines that a tinker is wont to make. In the back here, out of the way, because it's a little bit noisy. I will not commentate now. I will just show you how this works. So that is a very old design of a leather farm, beef farm. In effect, what is happening is in Minecraft, when you place a lot of entities into one block space, at a certain threshold, they die because you can no longer hold that number of entities in that block. And I believe it's 24, maybe 27, but the 28th entity in that block is inevitably going to die. And so when you feed the cows and they breed and create a new cow, the cows will die. Now, I'm not really sure what prevents the calves from dying and why it is just adult cows that tend to die, but you can see from time to time, if I just come over here and feed, I've got plenty of beef and plenty of leather. But I'm going to take this leather and pass it through some series of water channels up across the roof, and it will filter here down into the book binder. The book, what is it? What did I call this thing? The book blaster, and that will give me the ability to make books pretty easily. Yeah. So this is where Copperdawn is right now. Copperdawn. There's a lot going on here, and a lot more that I want to do to help sort of give myself the tools I need to be able to go and expand into some of the other areas that I want to go and explore. My biggest one of the important factors to the way that I play Minecraft is that I don't want to build 400,000 items per hour farms. I don't like that idea myself. I like to keep everything simple. I like a slow and steady pace, and so I tend to. Ooh, it's getting ready to storm somewhere, but not here because I'm in the desert. Well, maybe someday. I don't like to build a lot of things that speed up the gameplay. I want to keep things very slow, very subtle. And so I don't want to build one base, go out and collect other resources, come here and then build a farm here. I want to go in other places and build farms. And so one of my future settlements will actually be about 16,000 blocks from here. And that's where I'll have a series of farms that will be useful to me in the world. So right now I have iron production, and I also have a place to store various items, to enchant, and to basically set myself up to do more things in the future. This build is the next one, and it is the armory. I have some unique ways of dealing with armor. I want to explore the various enchants in the game and have different armor for different situations. So that should be interesting down the road. And I have my handy dandy tree farm. I think that covers all the bases. What I want to do before I have to say goodbye is I would like to go and try and explore. Let's see what I've got here. I could really use an iron axe. I want to run over here to this is the machine that I use for building. So as I'm building all of the different places and locations here in Copperdawn, this drone powered machine train travels with me and keeps all of the ingredients and things that I need, all the blocks I need for the building, and also gives me a stone cutter and a crafting table, which are inevitably important to the process. I would like to have something better than a stone axe. And I think I have a spot for some iron ore here. Yep, I'll put those few there. A couple of blocks is fine enough. Alright, one of the things I've never really done is I've never ran off in this direction. So I think I want to head in that direction. Matter of fact, it's going to be nighttime. So maybe we can get rid of this weather as well and get some sunlight. I think it's clearing up. Yep. Sweet. Sweet. Okay. Do I have food? Because I do dumb things when I don't have food. I do have food. Drink a speed potion here. That'll be good. And I think we'll just... Yeah, don't tell anybody. Oh, that's one thing. This is the symbol for Copperdawn. For every settlement that I make, I'm going to take a 3x3 spot space, and I'm going to attempt to create some unique symbol that reflects that particular settlement. And initially, that was here sitting in front, but I wanted to be able to come out of the house and see the sunrise and the moon rises, and look down the avenue of Copperdawn. And so I wound up moving the memorial statue over to the side, and I replicated it, I think that's a word, here in the ground inside this little pool area. Alright, let's go on an adventure. In fact, let's see. Romer, let's go. I'm going to grab you some food. There we go. Alright, let's get it. Let's see what we can get into. We'll see if... I don't think there's a body of water over here, so I'm not really going to worry about needing a boat. I haven't done a whole lot of tinkering around here. I did find armadillos here early on. Let's see. Man, I have so many caverns and so many deep locations. You can see deep slate from here. Do you know how deep that is? It's deep enough for deep slate. I really need to bring a water bucket. Might be helpful. Romer, don't try that one. Don't try that at home. That's probably not going to work out. Okay, I think what we'll do, we'll just go over here, run around this spot. I think I can kind of turn back around. Yeah. Here we go. Oh. I meant to get this last time. We're going to be doing a lot with Railway in the future, so fortunately in the Badlands I can actually craft it, or pick it up rather than having to craft it, though admittedly now with the copper farm, crafting basic rails is not very much of a problem. Alright, we'll use this land bridge here. And I think there is a small body of water right here, and then across the way are a couple of abandoned mine shafts in the walls. Is that it up there? No, where is it? I know there were one or two that I haven't explored that I wanted to try. Come on, Romer. Is that cactus? Yes. I know that in the side of this hill there were a couple of mine shafts. Abandoned ones from the Badlands. I really like the Badlands biome for that very reason. All of the abandoned mines. There we go. That's a spider spawner. Poison spiders. I do not like any of it. Okay. Let's see. What can I do here? Maybe. There we go. That didn't really help. No. Not going to be able to. It's going to come for me though. Got him, Romer. Here. Do you need help? Leave the armadillo alone. Okay. It's gonna tinker. And I didn't bring torches. Or did I? Let's see. I might be able to make that work. There we go. There we go. Now we just got to get inside. Let's see. Let's see what's in here. See? I told you. I told you that there had to be loot in here. And you guys didn't believe me. I told you that's what it was, and you didn't believe me. Name tags. Probably more valuable than any other item right now in the world for me. Name tags. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Let's do a swap here. I've got dynamic light, so we'll just do that. I'm going to grab a couple of these rails. I am a hoarder. So when I see things, I just have to collect them because it's important, and we will definitely be using them later. All right, let's see if we've got any more. Ooh, okay. All right. Let's see here. Wow, this is really cool. Easy. Let's see. Hello? Romer, here. Nope, no, stop it. Stop it. Just here. Okay, there's a witch. Oh, here's a trick. When you come into an abandoned mine shaft and you have no idea if there are corridors down there or creepers behind those walls, when you come to places like this, break out the center wood. Then you get a good angle on that corner there. Huh? You see how that works? There's a witch somewhere. Hello? Ooh. Ooh. This is kind of scary. Ooh, and I hear spiders. I'm leaving rail. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh. Maybe the witch is below? Maybe? I don't see a way down yet, but I'm sure there has got to be more chests in here somewhere. That's what's important. We got to find all of the chests. I can come back for the rail some other time. All right. Oh, okay. All right. Oh wait, man, I need to get my health back. Glad you guys were telling me to get my health back up. No. All right, get him, Roamer, because I'm gonna die. Or just not. Well, you're fussing about it, but you're not doing anything about it. What are we doing around here? Ooh. All right, now he's on his way. There you go. Sit this one out. Roamer, you are not helping at all. This is actually your forte. Run down there and get the other one. Okay, let's see. No, you're still just sitting. Uh-oh. Ooh, look at him, snipes. Hello? Ooh, that was rough because I wasn't paying attention to my health. All right. Well, one of the things I am doing because I don't want to. One of the comfort points, and depending, I guess, on who you ask, it could be considered a cheat. I do use Vanilla Tweaks Graves just to prevent the sort of total loss from everything. And I'm going back in the same direction that I didn't want to go before. You know what? I have nothing to lose now. I have nothing to lose now, so I'm just going to parkour. So I do have a grave, Roamer, if you fall. I'm telling you. I actually figured Roamer would not respawn. I figured Roamer would stay, but that's really cool that... It's okay, John. It's okay. This too shall pass. I hope. I hope. So now the problem is going to be whether Roamer can finish off the skeleton or whether he's just going to stand there and just let it poke holes in me again till I can get to my gravestone. I guess we're fixing to find out. Where did I go in at? Right here? I think right here is where the drop is. Yeah, here we go. Okay, and it's getting nighttime. Oof. Oof. Is that? There you go. There's my stone. I'm sorry if it's getting dark. I will try to. There we go. Look at that. Okay. Okay. And where's the? Oh, did I kill the skeleton? Okay. Well, we got another turn. And nothing. Dead end. Well, we came and we tried, and I do not believe that I brought a bed. So, no matter how this is sliced, it's going to be interesting trying to get home. Let's see. Oh. Is there something down there? I don't think there is. No. No, there's nothing. Well, we looked through one of these abandoned mine shafts and did get a little bit of loot. I do like having name tags. Those are extremely useful. But I don't know if I came down any of these other ways. I think I did. I think I've looked at everything else. Yeah. Yeah, I think I've already came down through all of these directions. All right. Well, while we're out, let's be dangerous. What I should have done was crafted myself a shield, and me even taking inventory, and I was without a shield. Oh wow, that is really awesome. Dripstone cave. Wow, with water everywhere. Awesome. This environment is an environment that I have never thrived in. I have never played in Minecraft in this way. So I am really, really digging this. All right. Well, I thought there were a few more locations. If I run past the armadillo, it goes into its shell, and then it will pop back out. Get back to it. And then if I sprint again, it will go back in its shell. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh, there he goes. Now, I'm pretty sure there was one more. There you are, Peter. Is that what I think it is? I don't have a way to fight it without causing some problems, but I do want to fight it. I have found a warped forest. Is this new? Is this new? No. Could have came out from this spot, and I did not. That's interesting. Was that? It's gone now. I really wanted to fight the Enderman so that I could acquire more Ender Pearls. But here we are. Okay. Now, what I was hoping is that as it got dark, we would be able to see some of the other. There we go. There we go. We're gonna hang out for a while here. You guys back away now. Getting too close. There you go, Roma. Put in work. There we go. There we. Why are you running away? No, stop it. Stop it. There we go. Okay, you're good. You are good. The wolf armor is great. Definitely keeps them alive for a lot longer. I am going to run over here and check this one out because I don't think this one is connected. Let's try to avoid the skeletons, please. I don't remember. Did we see this one here? Let's give it a shot. Nothing of interest, and I don't think it turns. It does. It does. Oh, wow. So these are always prone to have loot in them. That's why it's kind of imperative you check them out when you come across them. And for me, this being the first part of the world, it helps out a whole lot to have loot this readily accessible. All you have to do is do some basic exploring. I don't think that one doesn't go out either. Alright. Here we go. Nope. Looks like it drops down. And I've got zombies on my tail, I think. Ooh, interesting. Alright. Well, let's give it a shot. We'll take a look at this, and then we will head back to Copperdawn. So far... Hey, man! Hey, look at you! Please don't. Please don't. I need the gunpowder. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. Okay, moving on before anything else tries to blow us up. Oh, wow. Another interesting development. I don't think there's... I think it is just cavern now. At the very least, a small one. Okay. Well, we have explored. Makes sense to try and hop out of here. And I also hear skeletons, so I want to make sure I'm not getting tag teamed. How in the world does that... It's enchanted. Can I have that? No, I can't. Okay, but I do have something I can feed my dogs with. That's good. That's good. Okay. I do like using the rotten flesh to feed the dogs. It prevents me from needing to burn through my own food sources to feed them. I thought there might have been some more, but I think that's gonna do it. That's interesting. Did I check these out? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Thank you. Romer, you did a good job there. You did a good job. You're carrying your own weight. I like it. Nope. Okay. Home it is. Home it is. Back to Copperdawn we go. If I had a boat, I believe this waterway would take us up to the corner there, and then we could just run back. Looks like we'll have to go the long way and hope for the best. Is this a mine shaft? I was going to be very surprised by that if it was. Hey, I need spider's eye. Okay. This particular shader pack is called Complementary. And one of the cool things that Complementary does, well, I didn't get a spider eye, is it allows me to look at light levels. If I hold a spider eye in my hand, when I get back home, I will grab one and I will show you what that looks like. It's very, very interesting. It definitely helps with planning when you are attempting to plan builds. What in the world are you doing down there? Kamikaze for no reason. Let's go. Come on. When you're trying to plan builds in such a way where you account for light levels, having that light is extremely valuable. And being able to use complementary shaders to have some way in-game to do that, rather than it just being something you turn on and off through a debug menu, is very interesting. I feel that that is a little bit more, it's less modded, more of a vanilla, there's a vanilla answer for it, if that makes sense. I know some players would probably disagree with that. But I have also played with the data packs that will turn on coordinates, so that you can see coordinates and time and things of that sort. And I've found a mod when I moved over to Modrinth to sort of run my game. I found a mod that will let me build. If I have a clock in my inventory, I can now see the time and the day in my inventory, in my HUD. And if I build a compass, come on, Romer. If I get a compass in my inventory, drop a compass, you can now see that I have coordinates as well. Oh, hey, look at you. It's okay. You guys just wear it out. There we go. There we go. Okay. So I like having in-game ways of finding some of these things, and having coordinates and having the day is really nice to have. Time. But if I take a spider's eye and I put it in my hand, I go outside, you can see all of the light levels. So if I understand the mod correctly, where there is yellow, this means that this is kind of a warning spot. It could potentially spawn something, but because it is a sky block, it has light from overhead. When it becomes daytime, these will no longer, nothing will no longer spawn. Nothing will spawn there. And if I look inside the cave, you should be able to see red off in the corner there, and that suggests that obviously that those blocks are spawnable spots for mobs, and there's even some more down there. So those are some in-game ways I really like having that doesn't just turn on and off with a button. I actually have to have an item to make that work. I really like that. It's really helpful, really beneficial. Okay, well, I think I have explained a lot of things and looked over a lot of things, and I have enjoyed the time. I hope that there's been something interesting here. I wanted to take on a world tour before I continue progression, and I wanted to also test around and play around with this idea of live streaming on the channel. So I hope there's been something interesting there. Wanted to take you on a brief adventure, show you around a little bit. And I really thank everybody for the comments and things. It means a lot, and I really do appreciate all of your attention and all of the kind words that I get. Thanks so much. I will leave the VOD up so that you can come back to this if there are ideas and things. If you have any questions or have any ideas of your own, feel free to share them. And if you'd like to keep up with what's going on, do subscribe to the channel. That's the best way. I think you've heard that 10,000 times at this point. Subscribe and click the bell notification if you want to stay in the loop on what's being done here on Mojo in the Wild. And I will end, as I always have in my previous videos over the years, with the same words. Be good, be kind, and I will see you the next time you hear the sound of my voice.